James has got 7.
Well, here's a little factoid about the Pacers on the road last season, guys. They were much better shooting free throws on the road. The difference between their road and home free throw percentage was the largest positive mark in the league. That's kind of strange.
Here is Miles following the basket by LeBron James. There's Freak. Clock is at 3. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you would. Think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Oh, that's blocked.
That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Clark, a little disparity there in the rebound numbers, but some of that comes down to how the ball bounces. Let's see if it evens out. And both teams on fire from the opening tip.
Well, I don't doubt it, Greg. We're going to have an entertaining game of basketball here today. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that's the case. So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Yeah, the great field goal percentage to start, exactly what they were hoping for.
Now here's Freak. He has 5. He dishes it to Hill. Here's Freak. And the Pacers tack on 2 more. Here's James. A 14-point game for him in the win against Philadelphia.
Yeah, and it just wasn't about the offense. I mean, he was racking up the steals and taking advantage of some sloppy play by the opponent.
And of course, as we've always seen with LeBron James, it's not just about the numbers, but his tremendous leadership. Well, that there is straight talk from a man who does not pretend. LeBron James with a textbook example of how to take responsibility and lead.
And Kevin, that's why he is the king. He doesn't say, hey, I'm just one of the 5 guys. No, he knows who he is and what he has to do. Bottom line, he's the man. Climb on my shoulders, and I'm going to take you to the promised land.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And taking a look at the Cavaliers' performance here, what do you guys see?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So on the floor for Cleveland, they've got Matthew Dellavedova. Anderson Varejao is out there with Mozgov. Then there's Mo Williams, and it's Smith in at the small forward position. Now here's Stuckey. A 14-point game for him in the win against Miami.
And equally as impressive, the playmaking. Just sensational. The way he was seeing the court and making the game easy for his teammates. And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Freak with it. 9 points in the game so far. Shoots. Rebound by Smith. You were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clark, he helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
Smith up top. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Varejao with a screen on Stuckey. Williams attacking. Varejao.
And guys, last season was a painful one for Anderson Varejao. He had finally shaken the back injury that sidelined him the year before, signs the multi-year contract extension. With the Cavs, things were starting to look up, and only 3 weeks later, he tears the Achilles and was ruled out for the season. You talk about a tough break.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Hill, he's checked in for Turner, and it's Ellison for C.J. Miles. To the middle, they need this, and with that shot, the Cleveland lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Allen.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
But they recover it. The Pacers have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Stuckey dishes to Freak. Stuckey passes to Freak. Lets a floater go. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And adding insult to injury, certainly, Greg, as you were talking about, Varejao played well at the start of last season. Shooting 56% from the field. Clark, I think he was over 70% from the line. Those were career highs.
Yeah, and a terrible blow for Varejao and the Cavs because of that injury, the Achilles tendon. But it led to the deal for Mozgov, and that's worked out quite nicely.
And both free throws good from Freak.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
Now here's Williams. His last outing, he had 8 points. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Williams has got 4 this quarter.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Out of bounds, Cleveland takes possession. As you said, the Cavs put a lot of pressure on themselves because of the trade. You could see it affect the way they came out of the gate, Clark.
And you know,
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close.
Well, Coach Bo.
Okay, pay attention so we can cover some stuff. We're capable of much better basketball than we played in the first half. I don't mind that we've been physical on D, but I do mind that we keep putting them on the line. Physical is okay, reckless is not okay. And I also like how we've kept our turnovers to a minimum. That kind of heads-up play has to carry over into the second half. And don't worry too much about our tempo this half. We'll take what the defense...
And we welcome you back to more NBA. Anderson Varejao's checked in for Cleveland. Williams comes in for Shumpert. The Pacers also changing it up. Stuckey comes in for Ellis. And Freak subbed in for George Hill. On the court right now for the Pacers. Stuckey and George make up the perimeter. Allen is out there with Hill. And it's Freak in at the point.
And for Varejao, his wild hair and frenetic style long ago earned him the nickname Wild Thing. I mean, diving for loose balls, taking charges, but that energy and enthusiasm may be unsurpassed really by any other player in our league.
And Cleveland making a change here. Dellavedova's checked in. And George, here we go. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. George has got 8 points.
And you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
Here's Williams. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good. Well, Greg, you're talking about Varejao. He may play wild, but his production has backed it up. A few years ago, he averaged, Clark, over 14 rebounds a game.
Yeah, and you know, I don't think he plays that wild. I think he just looks wild. That hair flying all over the place, and he's giving up his body.
That's a
I
good
don't know
point,
if he's
yeah.
necessarily a wild player as much as he just looks and appears to be everywhere at all times.
It's a pick by Love. LeBron with it. Rodney Stuckey covering. That's good from Williams. The assist by James. 9 points for Williams.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Wow, fired that bounce pass in there beautifully.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Love right side. Outside Williams. Back to Love. And it's Freak with the rebound.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far. Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Williams attacking. Can't capitalize on the good pick.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
How about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Smith comes in for Matthew Dellavedova. The Pacers also changing it up. Miami's checked in for Hill. Turner comes in for Lavoy Allen. And it's C.J. Miles in for Jordan. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Cavaliers.
And they've made the long range look like a layup at times in this one, guys.
Well, they've also really been down in with their jump shot. I mean, they have not missed much from mid-range today.
And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them.
Freak lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Freak's got 13 points.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, five have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
They're all about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up. Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Let's spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
A moment here now to see the numbers for Mo Williams. How he did last season. 13th in free throw percentage, and his passing skills full display all year. He ranked among the top 15 in assists.
And I think, again, we've just got to give him credit for knocking down free throws at such a good clip.
Mozgov, he's checked in for Anderson Varejao. Mahinmi kicks to Miles. Dishes it to Freak from deep. The Cavaliers pull it in. James has got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
That's a wall.
Make it 5 for 10 with him in that bucket.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
The feed to Miles. Indiana moving it around. Stuckey kicks to Mahinmi. Shot clock at 5. From 13. That is good. Stuckey's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Wow, you don't see him make plays like that very often. That's a nice move there for the basket.
James up top, 15 points in the game. There's the bucket, good. LeBron's got 17 now.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
Got it! Got it! What a shot!